Okay, I'm gonna start.
Buttons being pressed.
All right, we should be back on the air now.
If it crashes again, I'm gonna kind of start getting ready to take over here.
Uh-oh.
So last time it
Take
only
over.
did it once, and we'll see what happens this time.
Okay.
All right, you're
We've
back.
I said we'll be back online shortly, and Jim goes, bummer. Can anybody record the streams back up?
I don't see it.
All right, you're back up on YouTube.
We're on Facebook or YouTube. Yeah,
We're back again. We're back.
Back again. We're back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Sorry
And
for
we're
the
back.
technical delays there. We had a bit of a crash on the main hosting system, so we're back up. And
Thank you,
Jason will
Windows
pick
10.
up where we left off, going through Tandy Assembly.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I thought maybe it was me. I thought maybe I just crashed it with all my knowledge
Oh,
or
you're
lack
tremendously
thereof
good
of
looks, is what
TRS-80.
you're saying, right? You're just being modest.
Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so we were down here. We were just looking at the model, this Model 2, with CPM on it. I believe when everything went haywire, and I think we were done with that. So I can go ahead and move down here, and we're down here. There's Mr. Eric Canales there, chatting it up with someone over there, and we have a Tandy 1000 HX here with some type of emulator going on here with. And this is this is a retro gaming roundup banner right there.
Is that a SD card hanging off the top of that?
Looks like a CF compact flash.
Yeah, it looks like it does.
Oh,
Looks
CF,
like a compact
CF,
flash.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
It looks like clacks beside that. Yep.
Yep. Have a paper house. Oh, check this out. Look at this.
Oh, plotter.
Plotters.
215.
Oh, plotting money.
breaking the law.
Can
No,
you
it
make
is
me a
large.
couple
It is-
$1,000 bills? I don't want those wimpy $1 ones.
Yeah. As long as it's increased or reduced by a particular size, it's perfectly fine. And this
So
definitely looks big enough.
What's running that? Is the Tandy 1000 running that, is it? Or oh no, that was
What's,
running something else.
What is running the plotter?
Yeah.
I have the two plotters. The one plotter is being driven directly by a Model 4, and the other one is being driven by a PC. And usually I am running an emulator on the PC to drive the plotter. But for this particular plot, it does a better job if I just send the file directly, because every time the pen pauses, you get a little bit of a blotch. So for the really detailed plots, it's better if you just go ahead and just netcatting the file.
Awesome, awesome. And what's these paper buildings? What are those? Those are
Yeah, so those are just architectural models that I build. The significance of the models here is that I do the drawings with these plotters. So I do it more or less as a hobby. If somebody wants me to build a model for them, I will, for a price, build them a model. But yeah, so I enter the drawings in AutoCAD, and then I plot them, and then I convert them to the language of these Radio Shack plotters. And then I just plot them on poster board that I buy at the dollar store for 50 cents a sheet. Then I cut it out with the X-Acto knife and fold it and glue it together, and these are the finished results.
awesome, awesome.
Have you
cool.
done a
Thank you.
Radio Shack computer yet?
What's that, Moran?
I wonder if he's done a Radio Shack computer yet.
Oh, out of paper. Have
Yeah.
you made a little Radio Shack computer out of paper?
I have not.
Have you thought about it?
We'll start with the Coco.
Ask him
Have
if
you
he
thought about it?
No.
No, he hasn't thought about it.
So are you
Time
talking
to think about
sign
it.
like over there?
Depends how much you want to pay for it, Ron.
Could be.
Maybe for next year I'll do that.
Maybe next
Okay,
year.
I'll do
Okay.
that. I'll do one letter on each page. I'll make a fairly
Project,
large
yeah.
Radio Shack sign reproduction.
Oh, there you go.
I'm inspired.
You hear that? He's inspired.
Yeah.
You guys hear him okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, clear as a bell. Hmm.
Oh,
He's
great,
inspired.
great,
He's
the new
obviously not
micro-
watching this show, but anyway.
Oh, obviously not watching CoCoTALK if he's inspired. Yes, yes.
Inspired or
Oh, he does
scared for
listen.
life?
I do.
Okay, he you have it here first. He admits he's listened to CoCoTALk
Oh, yeah,
before.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
We're
What do we have
sorry.
here?
That guy?
We're sorry. Yes. What do we have there? We got.
You recognize that guy.
Tell him he doesn't get any refunds.
Does anyone recognize this man?
Is he on the wanted, FBI wanted list?
I don't recognize who is.
Peter Stinsky.
Peter Stinsky. Okay.
He's one of the organizers of Tandy Assembly.
Yeah.
He's
Now that looks like my row up there.
Yeah, Mike Rowan.
Yeah, Micro. Yeah, Mike Rowan's right next there to Einstein. Yeah.
So these are all done on the plot. These are obviously all done on the plotter, yeah?
Correct. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mullany triangulation. Say that 3 times fast, right? That's awesome.
Ask him if those.
At the post.
And you're Matthew, right? Yeah, we have Matt. We're talking to Matthew right here. See?
This is for the color computer guys?
Yeah, this is CoCoTALK. Yep.
Okay, so they may recognize this. So.
Oh, drive wire.
Oh, yeah.
So right now, this one is running a drive wire driver on the Model 4, which I hacked to get 19.2 baud. You might recognize that as a non-color computer baud, even though the picture is a color computer. 19.2 isn't a normally supported baud by drive wire, but that's as fast as the Model 4 UART will go. So this is actually running a drive wire driver that I wrote and using Boise's drive wire server.
Awesome.
Do a directory and you'll see it actually.
Yep.
There we go. It's the activity, and it'll eventually you'll see something on the display.
Ask him how much
There it goes.
2 plotters weigh.
Yeah,
together.
the DOS actually sorts the files. It puts them in alphabetical order, so it reads the whole directory before it displays anything. So that's why you notice the long delay.
Right.
And it'll print other drives as well. So it's reading the next drive. You can see all the activity, and then there's it.
That's cool. I didn't know anything about a drive wire port for the Model 4.
The next drive is the one that has all the plot files on it.
What's that, David?
I was going to ask, what's the UART chip that's on that system?
David wants to know what the UART chip is used on that system.
I think it's one of the
It's
Zilog.
a really weird one. I can't remember which one it is, but it's a little bit of an odd UART.
It's an odd one.
Yeah. It's from the technical manual, the technical reference manual. It's a little bit of an odd one because it doesn't have like a normal bus interface. It's got a separate send port and receive port, and it's but yeah, it was one that the Radio Shack actually sold in a blister pack in the store. You could buy it.
Awesome.
Sounds like you aren't good enough.
Now I did build a board with 16550 UART on it, and in that case I could go up to higher baud. It's just the baud rate generator chip is just limited to 19.2, which was less than what the dry wire would support. And,
Probably a 65.
so I was able to hack Boise's program and did 19. I can also run it off the drive wire for the Java server. There's an XML file you can edit to change the baud rate on it. So that was kind of a little bit easier, but I started with Boise's. And I actually showed this to Boise earlier today. He was impressed.
All right. Well, thank you, Matthew. Good talking to you. Well, I'm sure we'll see you around.
Thank you.
Those
let's see now. We've made it to the corner.
The
What
corner's more popular.
do you want to know there, Ron?
Those flatbed printers are extremely heavy. I mean, the 2 of them sitting there together.
I don't doubt it.
100 pounds.
Oh, wow. Far out.
They're heavy.
I don't doubt it. Let's see here. We've got some pocket computers. Let's see. What else?
Do you have big pockets?
Oh yeah, there's a little.
I don't know if I have a pocket quite that big.
It's
Oh
probably
yeah,
the
there it is.
PC2.
There it is. That's just a pocket computer. I think it says pocket printer cassette interface. There it is. Oh, this
I was
is
going to ask if that's
this
the
is
cassette
the
on the
floppy
left.
days.
I have one of those.
That looks like a printer. I don't know where
It's
the
a printer
cassette
on
is.
the right, left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a printer.
Okay.
And it does say cassette interface right here.
So it's probably got the
But,
inputs and outputs for the cassette, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's on the back if I remember. I haven't seen one in
Yeah, so-
years.
So you run a separate deck on it, like a CCR81 or something like that.
Right. Let's see here, and then we've got another Model 2 running here, and this one is all
Oh, all open.
All open. It's all open. All open. And oh, is that Fletcher? No, that's not Fletcher. Oh, what is this? We got a DMP 400, and then under it we've got a 12 meg disk system under there, and under all that there. And
isn't that the one that was interface for the Coco?
Yep.
That one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Another Model 2.
That's the
That's
cassette
open as
interface
well.
there.
What's that, Mark?
The cassette interface was not like the Coco. It was just 3.5 millimeter plugs.
Okay.
It's on the side of it.
We got a Tandy Model 4.
Huh.
And
No, they.
Somebody.
Well, that's part of the
Yeah,
private label stuff, yeah.
You might want to tell whoever's in the background that they're live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of colourful language there.
We're gonna have to bleep
The
that.
family show.
They were talking about somebody's dog.
Still
Thank you, Ron.
Still
And
a
then,
colourful description.
we'll fix it in post. Hey, we got Frogger on a Tandy. It says Tandy 3 microcomputer.
Well,
Are
we
they
can
the
give them
original
anything
badges?
we
I didn't know
want.
they made the 3s and 4s with tan labels.
You know, it's one of those. It is one of those like bubbled ones, like similar like the Coco one had. But and if we move over here, I remember showing this last year. Fella's not here right now, probably again at the presentation, but another video interface here, emulating artifact colors, playing shooting gallery.
Coco 3? Yeah.
It's a Coco 3. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
And there's the TRS wiki. Now this is Peter Bartlett's table.
That's a pretty cool resolution on that.
That's a high-res interface board. They had it was 640 by 242 color, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Something up
Oh,
here.
so they do colour on those.
Well.
Oh, green's a color.
Black or white, or green, or white.
You can have any colors as long as they're black, white, or green. Another Model 3.
Amber sometimes too.
And green and white was not the same time.
Right. And then we've got what is
Defense Command, I think, isn't it? I seem to recognize that.
That's it. Is Defense Command. You're right. Hey, but that's blue's a color.
And that's on a VGA.
Yeah, there's all kinds of extra boards back here.
Oh, that looks like it's a FPGA.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it's emulating the disk interface. Expansion.
Could be.
Computer. Could be
A field programmable gate array.
So does that have high res? That's a real Model 1 with high res and color?
It looks like it's.
Well, there's a model. What appears to be a Model 1 here, and then there's a cable here leading back to all these extra boards.
I was wondering if they were using a little bit of a Coco Man trick there with your cable, your kookaburra.
Crikey!
You almost had us fooled with that MC10.
Al Hartman's Model 1 is running an M1 SE. Oh, I see. In the middle one, there's the M3 SE.
Yeah, M3 SE, M3 SE. There, and then let's see here. We'll just go ahead and continue on here, and we got Mr. Eric Canales. Why not? With his laser discs, and I didn't know that Nokia made monitors, but there's a really big Nokia monitor here.
Oh wow! I have no idea they did either.
Nice looking.
Neither. It's running the Tandy machine, and then there's there's something called CocoMan.biz. I don't know what that is.
So that monitor's gonna survive the apocalypse.
I think so. It's huge. Now just take this DVD case up for scale, and it's like this thing it's huge.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Eric's hand. You see that? It's bigger than Eric's hand. Banana?
Yeah, for scale.
I don't have a banana for scale. And then we've got We've got this Coco Man. We got this Coco Man booth here, and
Do you have
whatnot.
any fruit with you at all? No fruit.
I don't think M&Ms are fruit.
All right.
Pac-Man game might have some fruit in it.
Oh yeah, you know what? There is a bit of a cherry down there in Pac-Man, and there's a digital cherry there, another digital cherry, and and we are demoing Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
And it is
On
20%
sale.
off. Yeah, 20% off right now for the show.
Yeah, just for the show.
Yeah, just for the show.
They pay you to download it.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's 100% machine language.
And basic.
And
Yeah,
basic.
And then, yeah, we got the Kookaburra and the Wallaby cables going, and have a full screen.
Is that an Atari 2600 joystick there?
No, it's a Waco.
Yes, it's a Waco, but it's an Atari 2600 compatible joystick. Hooked into my Coco 3. In this case, I'm using one of the Boyzentech adapters for Atari joystick to Coco.
Paragon.
Yeah, the Paragon. Yeah,
Works. Wow. Thanks.
It does work.
It's amazing. Oh, yeah, it works. And we can.
Yeah, I'm gonna redesign it. I'm gonna make it spill proof, so Grant.
Yeah, it works fine. Playing Pac-Man here on the Coco 3, no issues there.
You have to pot the circuit board so it can't be disassembled.
Now, when you walk in the room, can you smell the electronics on?
I think I did at first, but I think I've gone nose blind to it now.
Nose blind.
Nose blind. And then right next to me here, we have again. He's out at the moment, but we have Paul Fiscarelli's table, and the producers of Long Branch Never. And,
just before you move on to that, the Pac-Man demo, how do you get the, or was that just press a key to get it to run? Because I wanted to have a Pac-Man demo running on my thing, but it wouldn't do a demo on its own.
Well, this is the transcode, and what I do is I just don't hit 5, so I don't put any quote unquote money in it, and then it will run the attract screen.
Okay.
Once you hit the 5 key and put money in it, then it'll turn the attract screen off.
Oh, is that the secret? You got to put money in the thing?
Well, you hit the 5 key to simulate putting money in it, and then it'll play. Otherwise, it'll just do the attract screen with the game over message.
And then you go park in one of the secret spots, and you can just leave it running all day.
So how many coins have you found inside the Coco 3?
Hopefully none, but I do have a Coco 3 that has some like OxyClean or something in it. If that counts for anything. That I picked up at VCF a couple weeks ago.
Well, they just had an article in Facebook about the fact that some of these computers had a screen over the vents on the inside.
Yeah, the Canadian ones.
Yeah.
You kept putting coins in them.
They would
You're putting your loonies and toonies in there.
They're putting loonies in them.
Unfortunately, it does not stop soft drinks like Grant Leedy tends to deploy.
Wow, Curtis, you are really loud.
Yeah, that was like over
the. That was like the voice of just.
I'll turn was thirsty.
The voice of God just came down.
Yeah, that was.
I'll turn it down a bit there. I hadn't touched it, but.
Yeah, you're super loud.
Distorted.
Am I still loud or?
Yeah, super loud.
Yeah.
How about now?
No difference.
It's like Canada's invading.
Sounded like it went from line level to mic level all of a sudden or something.
What does that say below the side?
How about now?
That's good.
Better.
That's good. This is Paul Fiscarelli's table. This is a 3D printed Radio Shack sign. Try to get the glare off of there. Really cool. It's in a case. Got the lights. This is actually going to be put into the auction. It's really cool. It's all 3D printed.
I like the LED
really cool.
lights.
That would look great on my wall.
That's good.
Yeah, well. And there's Eric Canales again. There we go. And it also has a Tandy, these lit up Tandy 3D printed Tandy logo.
That would look good on my other wall.
Yeah, these are sold. These are sold out right there. They are sold out. I mean, they were sold out before I even seemed to know about. Then there's also a
cool.
TRS-80 3D
that's
printed.
cool.
That'd look good in my garage.
And Ron, I'm surprised you don't have all this stuff in your garage already. Right? Those are still for sale. And then there is this
another
Tandy. Yeah, there's another one. They just keep coming. Paul got 2 tables. I should have got 2 tables. I put like a table and a half worth of stuff on one table. It's really packed. There was a few things I couldn't even put out. But
how much does he want for those signs?
This Tandy one is 45. The TRS-80 one, he has 55, and the Tandy with the color bars was 45, but those are sold out.
Those are
nice.
nice.
And the Radio Shack one is for the.
Is he going to continue to sell them?
What's that, Nick?
Is he going to continue to sell them in the future? Like, does he make them and sell them as a?
I'll have to ask him. I am not certain at this point. He is not.
Those are cool.
They are very cool. That is a question I should have asked. And then this is still Paul's table. Okay, we're just
Color Max Deluxe.
Exactly. He's got Color Max Deluxe over here. Inside, there's been some artwork. We have a multi-pack along with an Ed Snyder keyboard.
Oh, look at that keyboard!
Run.
Dino Run.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dino Run. Yep, that's we got some Dino Run action here.
Run, Dino Run.
And here's something cool. That's so hard with the black background. There we go. Yeah, it's a little Dino. Yeah, it's Dino Run. Looks like we're gonna have. Looks like there's gonna be an award there. He's 3D printed up there.
Score. Yeah.
That's
for,
cool.
For Dino Run.
For those that don't know, that's a free game available from Paul Fiscarelli. And
yep, there it is. Dino Run, Dino Run. Yep, there it is right there. I still have to check it out.
I was playing around with it last night.
I have to download. That looks pretty cool. And then yeah, look
really on that game. It's a big deal. Oh, that's
and Paul's computer cycles through colors here on his Coco 3. That's pretty cool, but he does have the Ed Snyder keyboard.
He does
have the red key. There's nothing on the red key.
That's the same. That's the same version as mine. It's the same color scheme as I've got on mine.
Look at that tag on there.
Right. Oh yeah, that's one of those. Yeah, you got the
2048K.
2048K. Yeah.
One of Carlos
it has that. Looks like
that's almost a Coco Plus.
Could be.
What was that, Richard?
Looks like it has the Boyson Tech CPU DAD LED in there.
All those colors?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it could be. That's
Yeah, it is.
I'd have to ask him. I don't know. Okay, cool.
It should be.
And we've
got that in it too, but I've never been able to get colors out of it, so I don't know how to
you have to program it. You have to.
Yeah. Okay.
Rick
a single byte location
too.
Oh, it's a specific address that you can poke to, is it, or something?
Yeah.
It's a peak.
Okay.
Oh, here's Paul Fiscarelli now. Paul.
We've got interest in his signs.
We're live on CoCoTALK, and they got
Ask him if he'll make more signs if he sells them. We've got interest.
Hey, Internet World, how's it going?
Yeah. Oh, they want to know, are you going to make more signs? They really like your signs.
I don't know if I will or not. This may be an Tandy Assembly only type offering.
Keep in mind, because we've got interest in the channel.
But, we'll see.
Just let him know he's probably got some pre-orders here.
He's got
some pre-orders.
Probably got some pre-orders over there.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that's what I definitely don't want is like a backlog of people expecting and then not being able to fulfill because of time commitment. So but we'll see.
Oh, believe me, I understand.
So yeah,
make an exception.
A lot of interest. I don't know if I'll go home with any, but we'll see if I have anything left over. Then maybe I'll offer them online. Don't know how well they'll ship. They're kind of fragile, obviously, but we'll see.
There you have it.
Let's see.
What other questions did you guys have since Paul's here now?
What's the shirt say?
Inside the Coco 3.
What about the Coco 3, Richard?
The LED.
What do you got inside the Coco 3 for the LED setup?
So this particular model here, so the LED setup is just an RGB LED strip. It's running off of internal power on the Coco 3. There's also a couple of cooling fans here. that are providing cooling for the CPU gimme area, as well as the power supply transformer side of things. It's all running off of the 18 volt AC rail. I've got an 18 volt to 12 volt bridge rectifier in there. So that's where the LED is getting power and the two fans are getting power. It's whisper quiet. There's a remote control to control the RGB settings, which obviously I left at home. So we're only getting the fade in, fade out of the multiple colors there. It's got Ed Snyder's keyboard on it, case badge, voice on tech, boomerang running 2 mega memory and a 6309, all provided by Richard. So it's a pretty nice little setup.
The Coco 3 Plus.
For the game here, we've got Run Dino Run, which is the collaboration between Simon Jonason and myself. And we've got this running, and you might have noticed that there's a little trophy sitting up top here. And this trophy will be given away at the end of assembly to whoever has the high score for the weekend. And right now, it looks like somebody got 4,524 points. So that's one of the highest scores I've seen. So we'll see if that holds up.
Well, let's see who's on the list. That's Andrew E. At
Andrew Effenhauser.
Effenhauser. Okay, it looked like an E. Okay,
So
there you
we'll
go.
see if Andrew walks home with the trophy this weekend.
I did show the trophy earlier.
And then over here, I've got a setup that's so this has only got a 6809. I wanted to have 6309 ease of use, but the Coco SDC that I have in there has only got the 6309 version of it. So right now I'm running Eric Gavriluk's Color Max 3 with the high-res software modification, and we've got David Ladd and Mark Overhoser's Coco Mouse, an early prototype there that is providing the input, and it seems to work extremely well. And as you can see, it looks fantastic on a large screen like that. So trying to
I noticed that's a
promote and market for Mark and David there.
Smooth mouse action.
That is in the early phases of becoming a product. So we'll see how that turns out.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think that's it right here, isn't it? Yep.
Yep.
There it is.
Is that still 4:3 ratio?
I don't have it. So here. These are the little brackets. I'll probably make these as STL files for people that want to download them. But basically, there's your 40 by 40 by 10 millimeter fan. Just mounts to the bracket, and on the underside here, those just clip on. They do wedge onto the veins of the plastic of the Coco, Coco 2 or Coco 3. I just use a little spot of hot melt glue, and it holds it in there nice and firm. And then this is just 12 volt fan. So with a little 18 volt bridge rectifier to 12 volt DC, you can run these as well.
Awesome. Awesome.
Does he think he needs the fan with like the boomerang board and stuff there with the static RAM? Because that runs a lot cooler.
Now, Curtis wants to know, do you think you need the fan with like the boomerang board, or?
You do not need it for the boomerang board whatsoever. I would highly recommend it if you have a 512K stock Radio Shack upgrade. But yeah, I know that there's people that say you absolutely do not need cooling whatsoever on a color computer, but coming from a background in electronics, less heat is always better when you're working with electronics, and it helps prolong
I can
life.
vouch if you had the
So,
Disto 1 meg, you
as can
absolutely
see,
did need one.
You got your hands full, but there's obviously quite a bit of difference between this Coco and this Coco that have been running side by side. This one's running about 15, 20 degrees hotter. And actually.
All right. Walk around there. Yep. We got the stock Coco. We're going to get all scientific. Someone wake Ron Delvaux up.
I'm not asleep.
Are there cooling kits you can get for these?
No,
That's a good,
not commercially.
That's why he's gonna make the printable brackets for the fans.
Might be a good product for Richard to steal.
Yeah. Let me copy. What's
So
the
I've got
box?
a little thermal imaging camera here. So we'll take a look at this Coco first. As you can see, that's glowing pretty good, and it's relative. So that's 106 to 107 degrees right there. Over by the CPU, it's a little bit cooler. about 85, 86 degrees. So we'll come over
What
to
is that in
this one.
Celsius?
And on the power supply side, we're about 84, 85 degrees. So that's about 20 degrees cooler right there. And over on the CPU side, it's about the same, roughly 78 degrees. So a few degrees cooler over there.
About 10
so
Celsius
it's obviously
lower.
doing something.
It's
And
cooler
again, like I
because of the
said,
metal in
less
the
heat
core.
is better than more heat when it comes to electronics. So like to try to prolong the life of these as much as possible.
You heard it here first. Less is more.
That's right. More life.
More life. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. You know,
What's
I
the
don't.
box
I'm not
sensitive?
running the stock 512K upgrades anymore just for the fact of heat.
So one other
Yes,
thing
and yeah.
throw in here real quick, for those of you that may be aware about the Tech Talk track that we had yesterday, I did that presentation on floppy disk preservation and using a CryoFlux tool. Arno, who's here with his Tris.io, he saw the demo and the presentation I did, and he was really eager to try something with these floppy disks that he had that were 40 years old, that were FM encoded. We didn't know what the encoding was at the time. He developed them on a Genie system. Can't remember which one. So we threw them in with the CryoFlux, and we were able to recover source code from 40 years ago that he hasn't seen or touched that he was looking for, which he was extremely happy about. So that was another really cool thing that happened this weekend here at the show.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Yep. So we'll see what comes of that, but he was really happy about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's about it that I've got.
All right. Well, thanks, Paul. We'll probably see you later.
Yeah, speaking of 512 boards, you can get them at Tandy Assembly.
Yes, you can. They're for sale at Tandy Assembly at the cocoman.biz booth.
And what's the price?
They are the 512K upgrades are $15 at TA.
Oh wow, that's a good price.
Speaking of TA, we got some sweatshirts and the official 2019 Fest T-shirts here for sale. Nobody here at the booth right now, and then we're gonna go. We have some hats for sale here, along with. Now I saw him earlier. I don't see him right now, but Neil was around here. I talked to him earlier. He might be downstairs manning the table, actually, at the door.
Yeah, I
there.
saw John in Boise earlier there too when you were talking to Paul. So
yeah, they just kind of. I missed them, and you're still really loud, Curtis.
oh geez, I keep turning it down here, but.
And now this is something that Neil did. I will talk about this, Neil. I was talking to Neil earlier, and at the show, he has a Night Lore floppy disk version for $10 compared to the cartridge version. So
oh, cool.
and check it out. I might get one of these shirts. I'm just a sucker for red. I like that shirt. I may pick one up. Then he also has the his joypad adapters. For the Sega.
More Reese's cups back there?
No Reese cups, but I do see a coffee crisp hanging out here behind everything.
Oh,
I did see that. That's definitely Canadian candy
That's
there.
a Canadian thing, yeah. That's what I
Yep.
thought.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Canadian candy.
That's the good stuff.
It looks like the joystick interface is hooked up to a Tandy 1000 HX.
Now that would work on the color computer too, wouldn't it?
Yes, it'll work on the color computer. Yep, sure will. I think now the color computer also for the support of the extra buttons, it has a 4-pin serial thing, and beside all that, we have Brendan Donahue, which we ran into him earlier, and now we're here at the Coco VGA booth, and
is there any more updates to the Coco VGA?
Yeah, is there any more? They want to know if there's any more updates.
Any more updates? Well, I have the same microbit accelerometer and jukebox demo. Well, actually, the jukebox demo is marginally new that I had at CoCofest. All 4 of these systems are running Coco VGA. So I've got 2 F-board Coco 1s. One is a TDP 100. I've got a T1 Coco 2 over here. And down there on the end, I have a Rev B board Coco 2. That one actually has Ed's SAM accelerator in it. So that's the
Oh,
one
wow.
that you can run the true double speed poke, and it doesn't scramble up the video.
Very cool. Very cool.
And that's what's a D board, did you say?
We have
So it's a really early one.
Character set editor.
I thought you said
running on this
F-board.
one. My daughter Morgan's
TDP.
Bombs Away game is running on that one. That uses the custom character set that you might design using this.
Show us the double speed.
Double speed poke one. So I don't know, not particularly useful for games and stuff like that, but pretty useful for things like OS9 and Fusix. So so it does work with Coco SDC and double speed mode. I don't dare use it with the floppy drive. So this is what Ed's upgrade looks like. So there's a Coco VGA board, and there's the SAM accelerator that lets you use the full high-speed
cool.
poke. So he's got a CPLD in here that intercepts that poke and doubles the clock speed to the SAM. It never tells the SAM that it's doing it. It doesn't tell the SAM to change clock frequency. So so he's sort of hiding that. So the other things that he shipped me when he sent me this this prototype board was faster RAM, 150 nanosecond RAM, and faster PIAs. And so I've got all those installed in here.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I agree. That's awesome. Saying that's awesome. I like that.
Now, see, having a clear case would be perfect for that situation right there. Show it off.
Yeah.
Oh, you so you need a clear case so you can show it off.
Oh, right. Yes, I don't have to lift the case to open it. Right.
Throw some LEDs in there, and you're all set.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well,
Lower the suspension.
Any other questions?
you guys got any other questions for Brendan?
VGAs sold have been for dragons overseas in Europe. So, yeah, I owe them some time and some love.
Definitely.
Hello,
You
Dragon
heard it here
users.
first.
Has he ever had any failures on his boards yet?
Ron wants to know, Ron Delvaux wants to know, have you ever had any failures on your boards?
I have had one failure.
Wow.
One of the boards I was using failed, and Ed fixed it. And I think Mike Brandt had one fail, and Ed repaired that one for him as well.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good track record. Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Less than 2%.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great yield. All right. Well, thanks, Brendan.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure we'll see you around.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I like your shirt.
I like your shirt, Brendan. Oh, looks like we got Boise's book here, and
Oh, cool. How much is it going for there?
you know what? I don't see anything listed. I saw Boise earlier. I don't see him right now, but not sure. And then that same vicinity, we have Cloud9, and
and still see everything clearly?
absolutely. We got some deluxe joysticks, some direct modem packs. We got some floppies. We have some ROM packs. We got all kinds of stuff over there, and that's
I
good.
see he has a soldering iron for sale. Oh, poor David. He already has one.
Yeah, and
That looks like a good
it's
one.
a Weller
too.
as
It's a
well.
Weller.
Yeah, it's a Weller. Yeah, they're good.
I do see Mark over there. He's over there talking to the keynote speaker, and whose
And now
name
they have-
escapes me right now.
They
But
have four
it was
other
a
spaces this size.
you know that would have been the other show I was at there. But I'll just go ahead and let's see here. We'll go ahead. Yeah, there's Mark Marlette and our keynote speaker chatting it up there, and we got some. We'll go ahead and go through the center. We've gone all around the end. I don't think I really need to go over the beverages and snacks, but this would be the center tables, and Mark Marlette back there, and we got some. Oh, there's the at one time secret Model 16, and we got another.
That's
another
not really
model.
a secret.
That was a secret at one time, but that was a long time ago. That was part of the keynote speak, which I'm hoping. I saw it was being recorded. I'm hoping someone puts it out. That was a really fun keynote speaker. I really enjoyed that. So
yeah, it's already on YouTube, Jason.
Oh, is it? Great.
Tandy
If we can maybe
Assembly has a.
we put that in the show notes. Mr. Mark Overhoser. That'd be great. I do recommend checking that out. That's great.
I'll find it and chase it down and put it in there.
Awesome. Oh, we got a tape recorder. Okay, here's a CTR-80A. I never had one of those. I don't know if that was. I don't know if you could use that with your Coco or not.
If I remember, isn't that the one that had where the buttons would wear off fairly quick and then they wouldn't stay down?
Good question. That's
any Tandy sensations?
No, but we did come up in the keynote, and funny enough, I know someone who owns one. They were asking me about it. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. But,
they have a great sales video on YouTube if you want to learn how to sell one.
Yeah. Well, our keynote speaker, and his name escapes me at the moment, but he worked on that. So that was pretty cool.
That's the Model 1 version of the demo that I'm running behind me right now, by the looks of it.
This is the raycasting demo by Tim Halloran. Wolfenstyle 3D raycasting. And Wolfenstyle made 3D raycasting. I'll get it eventually. Popular. So we have that.
What are those square things on there? Chips or?
We have a TRS-80 Model 1 no-chip V-blank modification. And there's a lot of wires on here, guys. A lot of wires.
What does it do?
So just going to ask
it says on the side behind.
Well,
it's a video output mod by the looks of it.
Which allows visibility of start and end of the V-blank. V-blank detection allows for graphics without interface or tear as well as up to 192 pixel vertical resolution. It's hard to look at what you're shooting and look at what you're shooting through the camera. The Model 1 could have shipped with this, absolutely no extra manufacturing cost. Modification was created by Tim Halloran from ideas by George Phillips, and a special thanks and motivation to Trash Talk episode 21. George Phillips, I think I'm friends with George Phillips on Facebook, and we have a TRS-80 Assembly language programming manual here, and then another Model 1. We have some type of, this is the bouncing ball demo. So that's pretty cool. Look at it go. Look at that.
You know you're a real computer system when you have a bouncing ball demo.
Right. Model 1 with a bouncing ball. Absolutely.
128 by 192.
And that's the official Model 1 monitor, too.
Look at,
Looks like a TV.
It is. It's actually an RCA TV that was specially boxed.
That's great.
It is
we
beautiful.
have over here, we have a Model 3 with Mr. Spock on it there, with the
okay, I think
this is the Model 3 with the
were amber screens a thing?
They were a thing, but this is the
I don't think
high resolution graphics card. So
I don't
that's
think Tandy had the amber screen, but it was aftermarket.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were only white.
Okay.
What's the resolution? Does it tell you?
640 by 240, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Not good. That's pretty good resolution.
As he would say, fascinating.
It did run slow.
Absolutely.
That was one issue. I remember people have said you couldn't do too many arcade type things on there because the access to the graphics RAM for that card was quite slow.
Okay.
What do we got here? We've got
a 2-shoe train.
13 Ghosts or something, I think.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts. Yep. And some LS-DOS going on here. We got some more Model 4s. We got a little quick printer. And
I don't see any Nick Morente's Model 3 game.
No, I don't see any Donut Dilemma going on or anything like that at this point.
Just going to mention that.
Yeah.
Can't be a
Last year I
serious
saw
conference.
that. And we'll go and just go ahead and cover the end. Just right across from me here, we have some more LDOS.
Jason, quick question for you.
Yeah.
You guys are actually having it in a museum this year because of some scheduling conflicts?
Now, that's the impression I'm under, yes.
So is the museum still technically open to the public, or have you guys taken it over and they're not allowing general public in at this point?
I have still seen the public in here in the public part of the museum. I haven't seen any in the conference room or the exhibition rooms that we're in. I haven't seen any of that, but I have seen some other members
Okay,
of the
I was just
general
wondering if
public
anybody
in
was
here.
wandering in and going, "What the heck is this?"
No, I haven't seen that. It's a pretty cool museum.
Well, there's still museum pieces in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of museum pieces here, and a lot of the same things.
Now you're talking the people or the computers then?
I think more the computers. I don't know how the people would would take to that, but we do have there's the Tandy 6000 HD again, and have another monochrome screen here, and then there's a couple tables here that are just empty, but we have the back of the Radio Shack sign here, and then I guess we can go ahead and there are still some snacks available. They're left over from breakfast, and we have some. We still have some beverages, and if you want some ice water, there's water with some ice in it. But
R2D2.
R2D2. And if I go quickly here, if I go quickly down here, we'll go through the museum. All the presentations are actually happening down on the lower level.
Hey, how about we do a commercial break before we show the rest of the museum?
That'd be great. Let's do that, and I'll give my battery a little boost while we're doing that.
Okay. Short commercial break. Or actually, long commercial break.
You are watching CoCoTALK, the world's leading weekly video podcast, featuring the Tandy color computer. We spread the love to the past, present, and future for all models, including the original color computer, the Coco 3, and the world-renowned exclusive French-Canadian Coco 2. The Radio Shack.
As you start your journey to CoCoFest, you notice the road ahead is littered with rogue furniture. You realize you are driving on the Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. The new game for the Tandy Color Computer 1, 2, and 3. Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. Stunning low-resolution visuals. Digital to analog converted sound. 100% machine language and basic. What are they saying about Nightmare Highway? Nightmare Highway. Steve B. York says, of all the games released this year, this is one of them. L. Kurt S. Boyle says, this will not be on my site. Nick Marionette says, crikey, look at the size of that crock. Get your complimentary copy of Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. At cancanmakeit.com. If you got it for free, you paid too much.
All right, and we're back.
I'm gonna tell people you're welcome.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, the audio's good on YouTube now.
Huh.
Yep.
Well,
Audio's
that's
good. And I do want to compliment Ken Reichert on his game, Nightmare Highway. Can I get an echo? Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare
Anyone?
Highway.
Nightmare
Thank
Highway.
you.
Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
I posted the link earlier in the chat for Nightmare Highway, and if you download it and you go through the basic code and the assembly code, Ken Reichert has notated every single line. So if you want to learn kind of how he put together the game and how it works, just an amazing kind of record and training tool. So
that's
download
good. That's
Nightmare
awesome.
Highway today, 50% off.
Thank you, Ken.
All right. We ready to go back to Coco Man and finish the tour?
Yep,
Do
if you
it.
still got battery.
Oh, I've got battery. I just got another battery. I hear a kitty. I hear something there.
That's my little my ginger one wanting some attention, isn't it? What are you doing, pussycat? Why are you interrupting our show?
Okay. Well, so we're back. I'm down here on the. I've gone down here to the first floor, and we have.
So what
the
type of
doors to the
museum is
outside.
this?
Is
What's
the
their genre?
Heritage Center of Clark County. It is there's a lot of what type of music. Well, it's just a lot of. Well, it's not like an art museum. We got the registration table there. There's Neil Blanchard. Oh, there's Eric Canales again.
Oh, it's like a
Why not?
local heritage museum?
I think so. Absolutely. But if we walk down the hall here, down here in the lower level, all the presentations are happening down here. And I think there's one going on right now. Let's see.
Hey Ron, Al Hartman's asking if you brought enough sandwiches for everyone.
Yeah, a lot of credits. Of course, there's a lot of work that went into it before I even started and pressed the golden grass.
Now, didn't Tandy Assembly have? They're streaming to YouTube right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have the auction table here in the back.
So who signed that Coco 1?
So that's what we got.
No.
Pretty good auction table.
No.
Pretty good attendance at the seminar.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's great. Those are all being streamed to YouTube. That's good to know. We can do a quick run through the museum here, and as my battery fails me, I do. Oh, there's my row. Mike Rowan. All down here at the registration table, but
Hey, Neil. Is that Neil?
That is Neil. Yep. Let's see here. We got no food and drinks permitted in the museum.
What's the Canadian count? Do we have just one Canadian?
I know of at least two.
Mm.
But this looks like a kind of a local history type thing. We have a lot of exhibits here, and there's telegraph. Oh, let's see here. I really haven't had a chance to come down here yet, but this is a really neat building. A lot of neat things here. We got some bicycle.
Oh, look at the units of the old-fashioned bike with the big front wheel.
Yeah, the big front wheel here. We have see this car race an airplane. Okay.
Now, is the exhibit hall going to be open until midnight like it normally is, or are they close it down early? Okay.
No, it'll be open till midnight. And not sure what's in here. We have.
Looks like a steam engine.
Looks like it. Yeah, we have. There's another. I keep finding more rooms.
A lot of very notable things were developed in Ohio. So.
Was it like a
It's like an old teletype
machine
ticker
or
tape.
Looks like something like that.
Looks like a steam engine.
We have the another exhibition hall. This just keeps going. Oh yeah, because I'm crossing the parking lot, and there's a whole nother
building.
Whole nother building over here. Wow. Okay, I didn't notice this before.
Oh, cool.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Fire apparatus.
Fire apparatus. Oh, but I just found something that I think will be very interest to the show. And let me see, we'll go for the big reveal here. I have found the Brain Lumber Co.
And that's in Springfield, Ohio, right?
Yes, we are in Springfield, Ohio. Yep.
Cool.
Family owned and controlled since 1880.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because this is pretty much across the street and across a little courtyard from the hotel it was held at last year. So if I look outside in the distance, I can actually see the hotel. But that's we got some steam road roller.
Well, that looks like that would be worth stopping into if you get into town.
Absolutely, there's a lot of neat stuff in here. I can't, in the time we have, I really can't do it justice. But
it looks like a seeder you drag behind a team or a tractor to plant seeds.
Absolutely. Let's see what else we have here. I'll go ahead and move. I'm gonna move back into the other building. There's a whole nother side to that first room I was in. And this is just the first floor. The second floor is where Tandy Assembly is. And okay, so we'll go past this car racing and airplane exhibit, and we'll come around this side. And we got some.
Look at our show being all educational and stuff.
Educational. Here's the thing with this other stuff, and here's what's a Mahooza.
So you guys happy with the venue?
It's a nice venue. I was a little skeptical being across the street, across from the hotel, but it's worked out. It's worked out well.
Actually, it looks very much like VCF Pacific Northwest or VCF West, which are both held in computer museums. So,
okay,
yeah, it doesn't seem so weird actually.
So do you think is this a better venue than last year? You think?
I don't know if I could quite make that call. That's kind of a subjective thing.
What's up with the travel halls? Were those made? Field?
It just says internet was just that it was ahead of its time. I don't know if it was made here or not. See if there's any more additional signage. Oh, the signage says, "Please look, but don't touch."
Yeah, I mean, Jeeps were made in Toledo, Ohio, so maybe.
Right, I owned a Jeep that was made in Toledo. Absolutely.
Yeah, so maybe these were made somewhere there. So.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and go up to the second floor. We'll just go ahead and take the stairs. We'll get those points in. You can kind of see, come up the stairs here. We've got all this signage, and then we'll go back up to the second floor where Tandy Assembly is being held. But instead of going to the right like these fellows are, we're going to go ahead and go to the left and go to the other part of the museum here. And we got all kinds of vintage looking signs and whatnot down here. So that's Keys.
Yeah, International Harvester. Yeah, it looks. I think AAA is based in Ohio also. Yeah.
I did not know that. I don't know where AAA is, where it started. I know Wendy's fast food started in Columbus, Ohio. I know that, but I guess I'm a little behind on my Ohio history. Oh, we have a Westcott Motor Company. And that was Westcott Motor Company, Springfield, Ohio.
Looks like the VW logo.
Yeah,
just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we got a little bit of a ramp up here. Oh, this is the military gallery. Okay. I must have just tripped off some sensors because the case lights came back on. And
as long as you don't trip off any alarm sensors.
No, just some lights, and that looks like that's an exit, and they've got must be moving some pieces around. There's a ramp there. little exhibit here. We got Spanish-American War exhibit here. World War One, World War II. We got World War II, Korea, Cold War, that sort of thing.
Huh.
What of
how much are they paying them to stand in there? It'd be a pretty boring job.
well, they're a bunch of dummies to do it, you know.
I wonder if they have any astronaut stuff in there, because there was about.
I didn't see anything there because I've already. That's just a little loop back there, and I've come back into the room that I was up in the. Oh, there's one of those, a windmill up there. I didn't notice that before on the way in. But,
yeah, there's a bunch of astronauts from Ohio.
Oh, there sure are. One of them's got an airport edge.
Presidents too.
Yep, there sure are. There's well, you got astronaut John Glenn. Actually, the Columbus International Airport has been named after John Glenn.
And the Toledo Airport just got renamed after the flight controller for Apollo 11.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have some. Okay, whatever's back here is closed to the public. Oh, okay. I think that's the other door into the room for Tandy Assembly. I think that's the other door there.
You can come out behind the speaker. Do it. Do it. Do it.
No, the speaker is downstairs. I'm on the.
Oh,
looks like there's some kind of room for presentation. There's a projector up there, and
that's neat looking.
And that exit is blocked.
That's
off.
for the 8-foot high version of Gatecrasher later.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
It's a real labyrinth there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, some of this I've kind of spun around a little bit. Those World War I and II displays, those were a bit of close quarters. And then this is just where we came through. And then right before you go into Tandy Assembly, you have there's some additional exhibits. And open me. Open. We'll go ahead and open this. Looks like we have
arrowheads.
Arrowheads, yes, thank you. That's pretty cool. There's some bones and that sort of thing. That is great. That's good stuff. And see, more stuff we can open. Old map, more drawers, more drawer I can open there. Yeah, okay, we'll take it.
Open the one below.
I don't know if it's. There's stuff in there too, guys. Yeah. Absolutely, it's all in there. If you want to see what's on, you're gonna have to make the trip out here. But then, and then we're just really we're getting back into the exhibit hall here. Looks like things have picked up a little bit.
Living antiques.
I love the radio show.
Mr. Eric Canales. Presentation must be over. People are starting to pour back in, and
the realistic shirt.
Yep, he's got the realistic shirt. Yes, Eric is being very realistic.
So we haven't had any power failures or anything, right?
No power failure. Oh, here's look who we got here. We got Tony Pedraza from Glenside. How you doing, Tony? You're
I'm doing just fine. How are you doing?
Doing great. Good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
See anything that surprised you this time around? No?
No, not yet.
See anything you like?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's good. That's good.
Too numerous to mention.
So far.
Got to get them embedded into the memory.
Awesome. All right, Tony. Well, good to see you. We'll see you around. I'll talk to you later or something.
Very good.
All right. Let's see. We'll do. We'll keep rolling. There's Brendan again. And oh my. Anyway, guys, I
waiting
think
for the rawhide theme after that. Keep on rolling.
Rolling. Right. Rolling. But this is we're getting a little more traffic in here. It's things kind of come and go in between.
If Steve was here, he would say he's real dizzy because you're shifting it around too much. Come on. Slow it down.
Oh yeah. Well, this presentation of Tandy Assembly on CoCoTALK is brought to you by Shaky Vision. Put on your 2D glasses now. I think that's really going to be it for right now, guys. I mean, that's it in a nutshell, and whatnot. I don't know if we're going to do anything later, but that's the gist of Tandy Assembly.
That was awesome.
A lot of pretty
I
cool
got one
things.
question for you.
Okay, I'm breaking. Okay, go ahead.
When you put the phone down, are you going to go buy something?
Stranger things have happened. You never know. I will neither confirm nor deny that. How about that?
Okay. For another show.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up from Tandy Assembly. And Mr. Rob Inman, I'll send it back to you, and maybe we'll be back later.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That was great.
Coco
Thanks for the tour.
So is anybody chatting? Because I noticed there's no chat showing up here on the screen.
It is not
There's-
working.
Yes, there is chat going on.
There's some in YouTube.
Okay. Well, another thing I'll have to fix it sometime when I get a chance.
I wonder if Stevie has it set so they disappear after a certain length of time again.
No, because I have a message that's on here that's been here for last hour since I had the reboot.
There is a little a box that you have to check that so it won't remove it after 30 seconds from the main screen.
Yeah, well, my initial, my startup message is still here.
Okay.
But it's just nothing new's been increasing.
So we've had during that we've had Nick Marentes is here. Hello, Nick.
Looks like the internet's giving me some trouble now. It went to 0 bytes there for a few seconds.
Yeah, I noticed there's a little bit of a freeze there, and I was hoping you didn't have another computer blue screen.
No, it looks like the internet froze for just a bit, but I see it's back again. Right as that message popped up on the message screen. Wow. Okay. We haven't done the acquisitions yet. So.
Yeah, general updates and acquisitions going around the table here. I don't have anything, so wait, if anybody else does.
Let's start with Dave O'Connor.
All right. Yeah, I'm got a new camera system going on here at the moment. It's I didn't actually acquire anything with Radio Shack or Tandy on it, but I purchased.
But since you use it for the show, it counts.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Two, not just one, but two. This is the other one. That's a Polycom HDX 6000. The one I'm using that's actually doing my stream at the moment is a HDX 8000. The HDX 8000 retailed for $28,000. It still retails for $28,000 in Australia. Full 1080. It's a pan tilt zoom broadcast quality TV camera. Really good microphone. They're basically designed as these ones come from the government, and they're proper conferencing systems.
So did you buy it from somebody's trunk or something, or?
No, I won it at an auction.
Oh,
actually, it's actually legit. It's there was two of them. Oh, there was actually four of them. I missed out on the other two. But the big one, the 8000, that's the one that I was mainly after, what I'm using right now. I'm only actually using it in standard definition at the moment. I need to get a HD capture input for my computer. So yeah, it's I can as you can see here, I've got the Coco 3 Plus. There running on my LCD screen behind me here. If I want to just do a nice little tight shot, I can just press one button on the remote control and it zooms me into a preset. I can then zoom back a little bit more and go back to that, or I'll go somewhere in between. Or I can press that and do a wide shot. You see more of the studio there with my open reel deck and the synthesizers and everything in the background. And
so do you have a hand controller there?
Yeah, it's a remote control right here.
Oh, okay.
I can pan, tilt, zoom, and I can program in scenes basically into all of these presets.
Does it do text?
Text, as in
on the screen.
Oh no! It doesn't. It doesn't do text directly, but what it does do, it's got green screen capabilities built in. So if I wanted to add graphics or even content directly from a Coco, which I tried last night, experimented with it, I can set up a green screen behind me and I can actually have any image, whether it's computer presentation graphics or text, like you're saying, or other video.
Put
Running
yourself in
behind me.
Dino Wars. Put
Yeah,
yourself
exactly.
in Dino
Yeah.
Wars.
Yeah.
So if any one of us came and visited with you, we couldn't see everything you have for at least what 2 weeks it would take
to get through everything. Yeah, something like that. It's
wow.
Yeah, if I just go back to that, I can pull that back a bit further and zoom out a bit more. That's and then my little pan control here. That's the drum kit beside me.
Do you have
guitars.
beds on your wall for sound deadening?
Yes, yeah,
Sure.
I do.
Let's see that.
Yeah, just in there. If I zoom in there,
Yeah, there's one back there.
If I go in there, there's a couple of mattresses behind. That's the main speaker system there. That's my main monitor speaker system there. That came from a Village Roadshow cinema.
So who gave you the idea of using beds?
That's an old sound engineer trick, that one.
Oh.
And you can see there a little bit, if you look in there, you can see my 3D cube array of Auratone speakers there. There's 4 up the top, and if I
because we know they all sleep in their studios.
There's 4. What's up?
Yeah.
They all sleep in their studios and need beds in the studio.
Yeah, yep. And if I zoom in here, you can see in the background there on the floor is one of my projects coming up. Is I'm going to put a Coco 1 into this. There's the
Model 4 case.
Was that a data
Model 4 case there?
Nice.
That's no. That's a Model 4. That's
okay.
And sitting on top of that, you can probably see the Mega Mini MPI sitting up there. That's the second one. I've got 2 of them. So that's the Polycom system. I can zoom around anywhere I want, and then just go straight back to my show preset like that, and boom, there we are.
Nice.
So that's my acquisition for this week.
No shaky cam for you.
No, a nice, good quality broadcast. No, it's full 1080. So even though I'm only doing standard definition at the moment, it does do 1080. So and it's got 2 camera inputs and computer input and an extra content input.
Is that your website on your shirt?
It's a friend of mine. Owns that website. So a lot of the stuff in the big modular behind me, that's all from synthesizers.com. So I want to get a proper Tandy t-shirt, but I haven't got one yet. So a Radio Shack one or something for the show. So that's on my to-do list, is to visit 8bit256.com and get one of the Radio Shack t-shirts.
And are we still on photocells?
On
solar panels.
Oh yes.
Are you off the grid still?
Yeah, well, the show is running off. Everything's running on batteries at the moment because it's 5:30 in the morning. So, my broadcast and the monitor behind me and my Coco 3 and 3 Plus. Thanks, Ron. And all the lighting. Yeah, the whole lot, the Polycom systems, the whole lot's all running on batteries at the moment. So
amazing.
So that's my news for the week, pretty much.
Cool. You are awesome.
Well,
glad you're on our show.
It's a joy being on this show with fellow coconuts, people who share my love of old 8-bit computing done right.
Does anybody else have any new acquisitions or updates?
I do. I have some acquisitions over the course. We haven't done acquisitions for a while, so over the course of the last 3 weeks or so, I've gotten a couple things. I got my MC10, and I ordered. Well, you can't really see it in frame, but the screen is actually the MC10 with a listing of one of Jim Geary's programs, and I got the MCX 128 from Ed Snyder. which works well. Unfortunately, the MC10 came in a box, but they just used the box as a shipping box and put tape all over it. So didn't survive removing the tape very well, unfortunately. But I do have that. And I ended up getting one of Ed's mini MPIs, the 2-slot. And I got a couple of cartridges. I got Script Sit, which actually I got these on purpose. They were really cheap, and these will be useful if I need to repurpose them for some reason.
For the MC10.
I got Color File with the box, which is totally useless. Graphic Pack, which allows you to create pie charts and graphs and stuff. I also got, now Curtis knows about this more than I do. There's a publication called Kelly News, which was a catalog for Coco. And so I got 2 issues of this, and it has in it descriptions of various software you can get, Mr. Dig, Doodlebug, and whatever. And there's also articles in there. Like, for example, this one has Upgrading the New Korean Coco by Martin Goodman. So it's a combination of software titles you can order and some tech articles. So I got 2 issues of that, issues 2 and 3.
Yeah, I'll just a quick aside on that. That Kelly Software Services was a company out of Edmonton, Alberta, I believe. It's in Alberta for sure. I think it's Edmonton. That was the main distributor of third-party Coco stuff for at least Western Canada, if not all of Canada.
Yeah, named for his last name was Kelly, so it was named after him. And I also have a 1988 catalog of Dicom products. So you can.
Cool. I used to have one of those and I lost mine, so kind of jealous.
So you can order Gantlet 2 and Iron Forest and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, this guy was just getting rid of. It's the same person I bought. I don't know if a few weeks ago I had gotten a couple games, Wildcatting and Color Baseball and stuff. And he also happened. He was getting rid of all this stuff, and it was sitting in his listing for weeks. So I asked him if he wanted to get rid of it for cheap, and he said yes. So that's what I did. So I got. Oh, and I got some rainbows too, a few sort of rainbow magazines. So I got the rainbow magazines, the Kelly News, the Dicom catalog, those ROM packs I showed you for as a bundle.
So are you going to have to move into a different place to accommodate your collection?
Yeah, I know. It's getting there. It's coming along quite nicely. If you look at my ukulele video from 3 months ago or whatever it was, and I had nothing behind me, to I've got a nice Coco collection growing. So yeah, those are my acquisitions.
That's very cool, Nick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Make sure you contact Ron on how to build a garage.
Hey, I gotta tell you. Listen, if you have enough stuff, okay, this is what happens. You go you go out in your garage and you look for a couple of things and you find a couple of other things you didn't realize you had. So then you bring them out and you set them up and you play with them and then you put them back. And then when you put them back, you find, oh, I have one of those. Oh, cool. I forgot about that. So I'll bring that out and, hook it up and try it. And so like, if you can go for months if you have enough stuff of refinding the stuff you already have, which is really cool. That's my experience.
It's fun. It's fun to collect the stuff.
Yeah.
Or you could just be like Stevie and just order things on eBay constantly, and you just end up with like 6 of this and 4 of this.
Well, I have a project or an acquisition also.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
Oh, okay. So this is not a Coco project, but it could be. Basically, there's a guy in Germany. He goes by the handle Byte Booster because he makes RAM cards for the Apple II GS computers. But he come out with a new product here, which is basically an adapter. The joystick and the paddles on the Apple II are just like the Tandy and the Coco and the 1000 and the IBM PCs, that they're variable resistor rather than switches. So he basically came out with this little adapter that basically has the analog output on the one end. And then on the other side, he has a Super Nintendo port and an Atari joystick port, or Commodore 64. So it actually has a microcontroller. It's a PIC microprocessor. And I was playing it with the new Apple game. I'm using my Super Nintendo controller with it. So the only difference is that the apples they use a 0 to 150K range, whereas the Cocos and the Tandy 1000s and the IBMs use 0 to 100K. But with some modifications to the resistors on this, it could be adapted very easily for the color computer.
You probably find that on the Coco as well, the actual joystick pot values is not that critical.
It works as a voltage divider. It may work fine, but it's hard to say. It's depending on how it reads it. So yeah, it might work fine.
On the Coco, we've done 0 to 10K and it's performed well.
Right. The 10Ks pull a little bit more power, but when they go to 0, then I guess it wouldn't matter.
All right, you've showed us that thing, but how would you actually hook one up? It would be the DIN out to.
It's in this case, it uses a DE9, but basically you would either change the output to a pin header, or you just have an adapter cable that goes from a DE9 to a DIN plug.
Okay.
And then
I got you.
NES hooks into that, and instead it's just 2 at XY variable resistors and a bunch of buttons. So
it's powered by the power coming to the cable.
It's powered by the Apple. Yeah. So
okay. I don't have an Apple for power, so
it might require an external adapter. It's hard to say. It depends. Okay. I think the joysticks have a little bit of power, but not a lot. It's like 100 milliamps.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Or 50 per each. So so it might be able to be powered. I don't know how much power the microcontroller pulls. It's a PIC 18F14 F22, I think, or sorry, K22. So.
I'm pretty sure the joystick ports on the Coco, at least on the Coco 1, I haven't looked at the schematics for the others. The top rail of the divider is basically just straight off the 5-volt rail. So you should be able to run a reasonable amount of current from it, depending on the series resistor.
It's very limited. It's like 50 milliamps. It's not very much, but modern microcontrollers don't take much. So it's hard to say. It might be able to be powered from the joystick port. It might not. So anyway, this is something that I've been talking with the guy, and we've been talking about, a version for the Coco. So he's looking at redesign.
What kind of cost is it?
Good question. This particular one is right around $40. It's on a microcontroller. He has to hand assemble them. And these, believe it or not, these Super NES connectors are not cheap. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Right. So I'm not surprised.
Oh, he's also working on a PlayStation 3 version too for the Apple. Yeah.
Cool. Does anybody else have any acquisitions or product updates they want to share?
I got a question about the PlayStation. I know it's not Coco related, but I see them at Goodwill and stuff, and aren't they just like a computer basically? I mean, they don't have no keyboard though, do they?
PlayStation was a video game system.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't think there was any sort of computer.
It's made by Microsoft, isn't it?
They're all basic computers. I mean, they have microprocessors. All the development's done on microcomputers.
Yeah, but they don't have a keyboard you can plug in.
You couldn't turn it into a computer like you could like the Coleco Atom or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. It's just a straight console.
Well, theoretically, theoretically you could. If you could, the problem is the inputs are usually limited to controllers, which only have 6 or 8, 10 different things. But if you had a way you could encode the data, rewrite the ROM basically, or the code so it could read it, you could theoretically hook up like a PS2 keyboard.
Well, I seem to recall they got Linux running on it. I think that's the goal, is get Linux running on every console, and I think that was one of them that they got Linux running on.
Trying to think, I think the PlayStations were running on a PowerPC chip, if I remember right. So I mean, theoretically you could put Mac OS on it.
So the Xbox is similar, right? It's fast PC and a.
Doesn't the Xbox actually kind of run Windows?
Yeah, the dedicated sort of
it might be
version of it, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, could be, or it doesn't have to be. It just has to be compatible.
Okay. Yeah, I have no clue on the newer stuff. I never was a gamer anyway, so. And I just know.
Yeah, I wasn't really either. I was more into, still am more into programming and doing my own things with it. So.
All right, let's see who's up next. Nick or Grant? Nick Marientes.
Is
Oh,
Nick still?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, nothing
Nah,
new to report.
he's asleep.
Well, don't
I was
forget
asleep.
we're contacting tomorrow. So
Yeah. No, I got nothing new.
All right. Let's see, Grant.
Yep, I have nothing new to update either. It's all been quiet on this end.
All right. Well,
So if
Rob?
I'm looking for a good